Empire of Japan. After opening its doors, a push for cultural transformation brought great waves of Western influence to this far eastern island nation. The revolution washed over the land, making life in the capital exciting and unsettling. It was a period of great change, and some was swept away by the tide. But for one man, the turbulence of that era was just the beginning of an extraordinary story.
Hello everyone, and I'm the writer! That cutscene was awesome, wasn't it? I'm so happy this game is here! Anyway, welcome to the first start of the Great Ace Attorney, and I'm so excited to play this. I still can't believe it. I still can't believe this is happening! How could it be that just beyond the doors of this quiet little chamber, it's the highest court in Japan waiting to decide my fate? What? Oh, no, nothing. Save your glare. Murderer! Sorry. My name is Ryunosuke Naruhondo. I'm a second-year student at the Imperial Yume University. 3 days ago, I somehow found myself in the middle of a horrifying incident. And now, here I am, awaiting my trial. That's enough. He's not obligated to listen to such abuse, officer. And who are you? I'm this man's lawyer. I'll be defending him today. Lawyer? Yes, and until the judge has given his verdict on the case, no one has the right to treat him as a criminal. So you will hold your tongue. Technicalities. Look at you. You haven't even graduated yet. And yet, I still seem to know better than you on how to court officers should behave. Right, Ryunosuke? Oh, yes, of course! Sorry. What are you apologizing to me for? Oh, I suppose it wasn't my fault. But really, Kazuma, I never meant to drag you into this. I'm so sorry. There you go again, apologizing. Just like always. Though I must say, you've been all over the newspapers these past few days. Yume University professor murdered in cold blood by student. But obviously, you didn't actually do it, did you? Of course not! You have to believe me! I didn't do it! I couldn't never murder someone. Then there's nothing to worry about. Straighten yourself up. Hold your head high. You mean... I believe you. I know you're innocent, Ryunosuke. Kazuma Asugi, my best friend, also in his second year at Yume University. He's far more clever than I. A star student, in fact. He's even a qualified lawyer. Impressive considering he's still an undergraduate. It's not that impressive. The very concept of law is only a few years old, here in Japan anyway. My qualifications don't mean much, yet. You said exactly the same thing 3 days ago. But I'm proud to have a friend like you, Kazuma. Truly. 3 days ago. Yes, but that's when all this started. Congratulations, Kazuma! It looks like you're going to get to study abroad at last! That is impressive. I know. I've been forever dreaming of this day. Finally, those government elites have acknowledged my academic achievements and successes in court. So you'll be representing Japan as you immerse yourself in the most sophisticated legal system in the world! I'm really happy for you, and proud as your friend. There's not a soul in the university who doesn't know Kazuma's name. He's a living legend. It's like there's some mysterious aura blowing around his temple. I want to bring about change in our own legal system. That's why I have to cross the ocean, to see the real thing with my own eyes. The heart of the British Empire. I wish I could see it too. Then come with me! We'd have a wild time tearing up the streets of Her Majesty's city of London together. Don't do that. If only they were as simple as that. Oh dear, look at the time. I better be going. Alright, I'll see you later. I think I'll stay here and enjoy the place a little longer. Good idea. After all, it's not every day you get to visit a high-class Western restaurant like this. See you in English class tomorrow then, partner. It was straight after that. That's when it happened. Asugi, may I have a word? It's best girl, or best legal assistant. Actually, she's best attorney too. Well, female attorney, but you get the mean. Professor, I didn't know you were coming. Well, this case has a personal significance to me. But never mind that from you. Asugi, you should immediately go to the judge's chambers. To His Excellency's chambers? Why? He was looking for you before. Your advocating for the defense in this trial was a sudden decision. It seems there may be some confusion about procedures today as a result. Who is this man? It feels like as if I've seen him at a university before. I see. I'll go at once then. I shall accompany you. Alright then, Ryunosuke. I'll see you in the courtroom. Yes, thanks, Kazuma. This is awkward. If I may. Yes! Sorry! You must be the defendant. Ryunosuke Naruhondo, I believe. Yes! Yes! That's right! My name is Yujin Mikotoba. I'm Professor of Forensic Medicine at Yume University. Ah, Professor Mikotoba. I've heard that name from Kazuma before. As I recall, he's been pushing to get the government to agree to Kazuma studying abroad. Asugi has told me about you. You and he are best friends, I understand. As such, I feel you should know. Know what? Well, as you've no doubt heard, Asugi has been granted permission to go and study in Great Britain. However, if he should fail to defend you in today's trial, I'm afraid that permission will be revoked, and will never be granted again. What? As I suspected, you were unaware of this. I had a feeling Asugi may have chosen not to tell you. He's agreed to defend me, knowing that if he fails, his dreams will be shattered? I don't understand. Why would the government do such a thing? The administration has chosen from a large number of applicants for overseas studies. It's very difficult to persuade them to grant permission, even in the most favorable circumstances. I don't believe it. But I didn't do it! I swear it! I'm not a murderer! I'm sure that's true. Nevertheless, I can assure you that proving your innocence will be no easy task. You see, there are certain peculiarities about today's trial. Sorry? What do you mean by that? You'll soon understand once proceedings get underway. But then what should I do? Well, naturally, I'm not going to suggest doing anything that could lead to a conviction. Right, so as soon as the trial starts, the judge will pose a certain question to the defense. When that happens, you must answer before anyone else. You must say, I do. I do? But what will the question be? Surely not. Do you accept the accusation brought before you? Of course not. Defendant! Court is about to begin. Oh, god dang it. Proceed to the courtroom at once. It would seem our supercilious discussions are to be cut short. So allow me to summarize. Kazuma Sugi must not be the defense lawyer in this trial. Of course, as a defendant, the final decision is yours. What are you waiting for? Do you want to be found guilty for failing to appear? Get moving! There's no point in anyone advocating for the likes of you anyway. Well, thanks. This is it. If this trial goes badly, Kazuma's dreams of studying abroad are over. And what's more, I'll be found guilty of murder. And so, with absolute no idea of what lay ahead, I embarked on that unforgettable trial. My one and only chance of proving my innocence, the trial would decide my destiny. God, this game looks beautiful. So, this is a courtroom. The Supreme Court of Jujutsu. No court in the land has more power. I don't much like the look of these people sitting in the public gallery. Lots of military and other uniforms in there. The powers that have been demanded this be a secret trial. A secret trial? A trial that's closed to ordinary members of the public. Only military and government officials may attend. What? But why? It'll become clear in time. But for now, you need to concentrate, Ryunosuke. It's about to begin. Is he allowed to stand there? The court will now hear the trial of Ryusuke Naruhondo. The prosecution is ready, Your Excellency. As is the defense. Before we begin, there is one point in order I would like to confirm. Yesterday evening, the defense made a last-minute request for a change of advocate. That's correct, Your Excellency. I made the request myself. So freaking nervous. Normal procedures for the defendant's advocacy to be decided 2 days prior to the trial. As this is an unusual circumstance, I'm obliged to ask for a final confirmation now. Who advocates for the defendant in this trial? This is it! This must be the question! Who's going to defend me? That's the question for the professor meant. But then, if I say I do... I need to answer quickly. What should I do? Well, we're gonna make him go study abroad. Your Excellency, no confirmation is needed. I'm standing here beside the defendant. I hope it's clear who will be advocating for his defense. He's so nervous! What is the meaning of this unruly outburst? I would like to inform the court that I, Ryunosuke Naruhondo, will be defending myself. You'll be... What? What are you playing at, Ryunosuke? Professor Mikotoba told me everything, just now before the trial. He did what? He said your dreams of studying abroad would be dashed if you were to lose. How sad. It means you don't have faith in me. You think I would be able to get you off. No! It's not that, really. It's just that, well, on the off chance that things don't go well for me, I couldn't bear to be the reason that you... Yes, I knew that's how you feel. Which is exactly why I decided not to tell you. Tisk, Professor Mikotoba shouldn't have stuck his nose out. Very well. The court hereby recognizes the defense's desire to advocate for himself in today's trial. Well, well. Does the accused admit defeat already, renouncing his own counsel? Really? Hold. Make no mistake, counsel. This merely shows the defendant's innocence is so apparent he's confident he can speak for himself. He doesn't look it. I know that look. Isn't that so, Naruhodo-san? Huh? Oh, yes, exactly! Exactly what I wasn't thinking. I'm not confident at all. In fact, my mind's a complete blank. I realize you're in charge now, but still, try not to look so bewildered. Well, for a mere university student to be brought here before the Supreme Court, you must have perpetrated a most heinous crime indeed. As you no doubt are aware, this is the Supreme Court of Judicature of Japan. Accordingly, the very high standards of conduct are expected of all present. Do I make myself clear, Defendant Naruhondo? Yes, Your Excellency! It is therefore my duty to assess your competence for your task you've undertaken. My competence? What does that mean? He's questioning your ability to do the job. Well, you can't be questioning it more than I am. So, let's start with the very simplest of questions. Oh, yes! Kindly state before the court the name of the victim in the case. Well, that's easy enough. Heard his name more times than I can care to remember. But, wait. Ugh, I'm so nervous. I can't remember that. What was it again? Ryunosuke. Let me guess. Your mind's gone blank. Aw, you know me so well. All the relevant information for this case can be found in the court record. But I can't even find that! It's simple. You can access the court record with the press of R. If you ever find yourself forgetting something, just consult that. It's on there. Just have to press R for the court record? Alright, there's no time to lose. This is the list of evidence you've collected. Now try switching to people instead with R. You'll find details of the victim in here. When you're done, just press B to go back. You're 51? You're 23? Okay. Oh. Or Wilson. Okay. So remember, everything to do with the current case can be found in the court record. Now, you better not keep His Excellency waiting any longer. Go on. Find the victim in the people section of the court record, and then press X to present it. Try it now.
Yes!
The victim's name was Dr. John H. Wilson. Watson. Frick! Okay, I think I need to address something. Sherlock and Watson. Not gonna be called Sherlock and Watson in this. I don't think my mind can handle it. So for the argument's sake, and because Capcom had to do this, Sherlock and Wilson win. Tisk, ha ha. Well, at least you can remember the name of an esteemed member of your own university. Dr. Wilson was a visiting professor from England, invited to Yuma University 3 years ago. Indeed, which is the reason why the court has such a profound implications. The British Empire is, at present, our country's most valuable foreign ally. And as most of you will be aware, we have just signed a new treaty together after lengthy negotiations. Therefore, there can't be anyone who hasn't heard of the Anglo-Japanese Treaty of Friendship and Navigation. And yet, despite these dedicated circumstances, the blood of an Englishman has been spilled on our soil. You two are both undergraduates at the Imperial Yuma University, are you not? Murdering a professor from the very institution that provides your education. Have you no honor? I didn't do it. This case is coming from under great scrutiny from our allies on the other side of the world. Your court therefore wishes to speedy resolution on the matter. In other words, our feeble government is scared of upsetting England's policymakers. And you're a convenient and expendable scapegoat to blame for this crime. So that's why this trial has unusual peculiarities, is it? Exactly, our government needs to convict someone as quickly as possible. All because the victim was an Englishman. Yes, Dr. Wilson was an Englishman. He looks so fed up with that. But nationalities and treaties won't make any difference for me here. The fact is, I was there at the scene of the crime. Oh dear, look at the time. I better be going. Alright, I'll see you later. I'll stay and enjoy the place a little longer. Good idea. After all, it's not every day you get to visit a high-class Western restaurant like this. See you in English class tomorrow then, partner. The British Empire. Wow, it's incredible to think. Wait, I've seen that man at the university. I'm sure he's a visiting professor from Great Britain. I don't know his name, but still, I should go and say hello. Wow, what a polite young man. Chivalry isn't well, this was made, well, okay, never mind. So I went over to the professor's table. He was at least polite. I introduced myself to Dr. Wilson. Now then, let me pose my next question to you, Defendant Naruhondo. Yes, Your Excellency. How did this Professor of Medicine, Dr. John H. Wilson, lose his life? State before the court the cause of death. Cause of death? Well, obviously, that was, the Ryunosuke. Remember that in court, every assertion must be backed up by evidence. By evidence. But how? Find the piece of evidence that shows the professor's cause of death, and then select present. Do it now. Well, according to the document, the victim suffered had death due to the gunshot trauma. Learn to read, you imbecile. It's post-mortem. That's the post-mortem report, I take it. Sorry, yes, that's right. The post-mortem report. In the West, a doctor dissects the corpses to identify the cause of death in an autopsy. But here in Japan, a police officer merely inspects the body and draws conclusions that way. Oh, I see! As long as I'm not going to be tested on any of this later. A so-called photographic print of the scene of the crime. You can clearly discern scorch marks around the bullet hole preceded by the powder explosion. In other words, we should assume the victim was shot at close range. Thank you, counsel. The court will accept this modern scientific evidence into the record. So that's the photographic print. Well, that's something I've never seen before. It's clearly superior to a drawing. The detail is incredible. Very well. I'm satisfied with your answers. Let us start the trial. Certainly, Your Excellency. So, without further ado, in order to better appraise the court with the facts of the case, the prosecution hereby calls its first witness, who was there at the scene of the crime when it happened. This is it then. I think I may have worked out what the professor had in mind. The professor? You mean Dr. Mikotoba? Yes, clearly you're the defense lawyer today, not me. But that doesn't mean... Well, I can still act as your assistant. Ah, of course! When he was speaking with me before, he simply said, Kazumasugi must not be the defense lawyer in this trial. He really has been sticking his oar in, hasn't he? Maybe, but any help you can give me would be greatly appreciated, Kazuma. Well, my first piece of advice is, rein in the crazy look of bewilderment and control the cold sweats. Only if you rein in the crazy headband and control the cold stare first. Witness, state your name and occupation for the court, please. Of course. My name is Sutario Hosonaga. I'm the head waiter at the Western style restaurant called Le Cavier. Oh, you okay, pal? Are you alright? You seem to be coughing up some, How bloody is that rag? It's a regular occurrence. It really doesn't bother me. Oh, well, it really should. Okay. As everyone knows, the capital's southeastern quarter was developed for foreign visitors some years ago. It's become a very fashionable district full of hotels to accommodate overseas guests. This grim crime occurred in one of the district's so-called restaurants. An accidental entree 3 days ago. Understood. Honosage-san, will you kindly tell the court everything you can about the incident? At once, sir. And no petty interjections in this rhyme, lawyer boy, please. Oh, aspiring maybe, but aspiring? It was just after 2 p.m. on the day in question. We have a few dinners at that time of day. The lunchtime rush was over, and there were only 3 tables still occupied. That fits in with my memory of it, too. There was hardly anyone else there at the place. It was when I was in the kitchen putting away the cookery and the cutlery. A gunshot rang out, so I hurried to the dining area to see what had happened. I found the victim, an English gentleman, slumped in his chair, and standing immediately beside him, gun in hand, was the accused university student. Hold on! Let me just clarify something here. While I did pick up the gun that I found lying on the floor besides the professor, I didn't shoot him. You picked up a gun?
Objection!
I believe I asked you to refrain from petty interjections. The court wishes to listen to the witness's report of what he saw, you amateur. Also, sorry if it's a little weird break. I had to help out in the house real quick. But the next time you interrupt at an inappropriate time, you will be penalized, defendant Naruhondo. Don't worry, Ryunosuke. You'll have your chance to fight back. For now, we must quietly listen to the witness. If I may confirm one point, waiter, standing beside the victim with a gun in his hand was the same man we see here in court today? Yes, without question. I see. And apart from the accused, was there anyone else standing beside the victim? No. There was no one else around the table but the deceased Englishman and the university student. Huh? Wait, what did you just say? There was no one else around that table? What's the matter, Ryunosuke? That's just not right. When I went over to Dr. Wilson to say hello, there was a woman sitting opposite him at this table. Really? And that's not something the waiter could have missed. I've been warned about interjection, but still, what should I do? Oops. Well, just a moment, please. Dr. Wilson wasn't alone that day. I'm sure of it. There was a lady sitting with him at the same table.
Objection!
If I get penalized for that, I understand. Dear me, what are we going to do with you? With your blatant disregard for contempt proceedings, I begin to wonder if you're not a fraud. Could it be that the accused, this mere student, is not a real lawyer after all? But I'm sure of what I saw! Honosage-san, is there any chance you're mistaken? Perhaps your memory of events is hazy? No. The deceased gentleman came to dine alone. I don't believe it! I actually have a rough plan of the restaurant as if that was that day. Please have a look if you would like to. Oh, I guess that was the good option. Woohoo! Let me see. Ah, a sketch of the establishment layout drawn by yourself, I presume? That's right. I'm afraid I used the back of my business card. It was a turbulent situation. However, as you can see, the gentleman in question was seated alone. Well, you are clearly a very conspicuous waiter. Thank you, sir. The court will take this plan and add it to the court record as evidence. Oh, well... Is there a problem? Hand the plan over to the court officer at once. Of course. Here you are. What was that about? He's been completely calm and collected until now. Something certainly seems to have shaken him. The waiter's oh. Is he okay? I get allergies, but jeez. So, the court has had the precise of the case. I don't know. Yes, at the moment the gunshot was heard in the restaurant. The only person in close proximity to the victim was the defendant in the trial today. It would seem that we are looking at a black and white case here. Defendant Naruhondo. Yes, Your Excellency? If you admit your guilt at this stage, the court is willing to look merciful upon you. In other words, you may have a small reprieve in your terms of inevitable punishment. I called this waiter as an unsworn witness in order to explain the details of the case to the court, but I must warn the defense if you are determined to pursue matters further in this trial. The prosecution has decisive evidence from sworn witnesses who were present in the scene of the crime. What do you think I should do, Kazuma? What do you mean? Well, I'm going to be found guilty one way or another, it seems. Wouldn't it be sensible to plead guilty at this stage and hope for the more lenient sentence? You idiot. Everyone keeps telling me that this trial is unusual, and about these peculiarities. You said it, Professor Mikotoba said it, and so has the judge and the prosecution. I'm scared of what lies ahead if I push this. And we're gonna stop there. Be sure to subscribe and have a wonderful day. We'll continue more of this, and we'll kind of alternate every other week, or, well, at least until college. But for now, have a good day. Goodbye.